Hello, everybody. Welcome to the US Weather Plus weather video on May 22nd, 2013. Um, Fortunately, the severe weather threat is a lot lower than over the past couple of days, especially Sunday and Monday, and maybe you'll not get anything like the past few days today. I'm gonna start off with the current weather alerts. And nonetheless, there are still severe thunderstorm watches in effect for much of this area, from Kentucky, eastern Kentucky, much of western Virginia, western West Virginia, eastern Ohio, western and northern Pennsylvania, much of upstate New York, and northern Vermont. Earlier, these areas were under watch too, but it looks like they were canceled out since then, because severe weather activity has been dying down in these areas after a few hail and damaging wind reports in Massachusetts. There were a few trees and wires down. Frost advisory here. Not sure what this is. I guess this is a hard freeze warning here in the mountains. Let's see. Yep, that's a hard freeze warning, and this is a freeze warning. No, it's a frost advisory. And it's a freeze watch, I guess. I'm not sure. There were lots of freeze watches over the west and warnings, because it's pretty a big trough there. Very cold, unseasonably cold weather in some of those regions. So I'm gonna go to the Storm Prediction Center, and first of all, here are the storm reports so far. Most of them have been, they've been pretty much scattered. There have been no clear clusters of reports. One cluster had happened in southeastern Michigan. Here was a batch here in central New York. Sorry. A couple reports in northern Massachusetts and in Vermont, in the rest of Vermont and New York. A few reports in Pennsylvania, and then more down the Appalachians. There were not a few reports along eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. A few bad areas in Georgia and Alabama. There was a little bit of wind near Fort Payne, Alabama. Also some wind in extreme southern Louisiana. One less scale discussion. Marginal wind and hail threat the next couple of hours. New weather watch not needed, but the local eastward extension of weather watch to 11 could be considered for south central Pennsylvania and central Maryland. Three watches, but these are all like one practically. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one, and this area could be under watch later on. How about the outlook for tonight? There's no moderate risk of like we were having the past several days, but there is a slight risk from southern Michigan down into the Ohio Valley, into the Tennessee Valley, along the Appalachians, and into much of the Northeast. We do have a 30% wind risk. Wait, let's see, could look for tornado risk first. Mainly 2% of the small area, 5% in western New York, where I think it could be the best chance of a tornado or two touching down. Wind threat is 30% for much of northern and western Pennsylvania and western New York. And hail threat is about the same. Wind and hail are very similar. Also, there's a chance of strong storms in the Intermountain West, with a system that's in here, producing a few storms in here. That will go down, I think, and produce some isolated but very strong storms into this area. maybe very large hail, and produce more isolated severe storms into much of this area on Friday, but nothing extreme is expected so far. And it doesn't look like it will be very active in the near future. But I'm gonna take a look at the radar currently. I'm gonna start off with the southeast since I'm on the southeast radar. Not much going on in the southeast. Got lots of showers and strong storms over Georgia and Alabama, but they're not really strong. As you see, you see a lot of these triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 triangles. This all means small hail. Possible this storm very small, about maybe half an inch sized. So many of these storms are capable of producing some small hail, but nothing really big. This triangle is filled in, so this is a little bit larger hail, maybe 1 inch sized hail. It's all these areas near Greensboro, or Crawfordville, or Madison. No warnings in the state of Georgia. One warning in South Carolina. For areas north of Spartanburg. And this is a massive storms here forming over I-26, and I think this would be damaging winds, half dollar size hail, and damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And more weaker storms in North Carolina. Most of the storms have weakened here in Tennessee and North Carolina. Gonna go up to the northeast now. One warning in northwestern Virginia. Rather strong storm here with the line. This is some strong winds here in excess of 60 miles per hour. Here looks like something like a squall line moving through Pennsylvania. No, I thought it was a squall line, it's just individual storms, so these all look like it's a line. Many of these could be producing very strong winds and some hail. Nothing really big. Farther up here, got one warning here to be for hail. Another pretty strong storm here. This might be the strongest currently, because this is a very large hail here. This is 3.5 inch sized hail in central New York. So if you're in the path of the storm, you might be prepared for extremely large hail, and this might be the strongest storm this evening so far. In these areas, nothing more is severe. There was a tornado warning with this storm. It's now weakened. It's going out to sea, but there was a tornado warning, maybe a brief tornado, but definitely hail and damaging wind in these areas of north central Massachusetts, from Greenfield to Leominster. In these areas, first in this area it started off, there may be a brief funnel here, and then it continued to produce hail and damaging wind in this area, but it weakened by the time it reached these areas though. So now I'm gonna go show you. Had I opened the model site? No, I didn't. I'm gonna open it now. What's this? Here we are. And it's showing a few storms forming in Georgia later tonight, by early tomorrow morning maybe. It's like might come at midnight tonight maybe, so we will have to watch for that. This turns into a line, as I thought it would be we'll see more of a line heading to the northeast tomorrow, but I don't think it will be something very severe. Overall, I don't really see anything on the models in a near range. Just this is the only thing I might be thinking about next week. Some severe weather could be forming here in Oklahoma and Texas, but it might not be strong enough. Looks like heavy rain though, so we'll probably need to watch that. The euro, well, I don't see it showing that much with the system. It just neglects it, but shows a few storms more north, maybe over northern plains, or maybe over the Great Lakes, but overall nothing really. I don't really see anything that should be paid attention to over the models. So what I want to show you, the last thing I want to show would be my torsi for tonight. Some of you probably had already seen it on the site, but just in case you haven't seen it, I'm gonna show you it in this video. Okay, here it is. This is for tonight. It was actually made around noon today, but I still think it's the same as it was before. And as you see, there's a pretty big area of 1 to 5 on the torsi, from Michigan to Massachusetts to Georgia. But if you're in western New York or western Pennsylvania or extreme northeastern Ohio, that's where there could be 5 to 10, so maybe a little bit more. But let me show you the values here. Buffalo, New York, 8. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 8. Cleveland, Ohio, 6. I need to change that to a 5. That was a mistake. Charleston, West Virginia, 4. Cincinnati, Ohio, 4. Detroit, Michigan, 4. Lexington, Kentucky, 4. Louisville, Kentucky, 4. Nashville, Tennessee, 3. Knoxville, Tennessee, 3. Huntsville, Alabama, 3. New York City, New York, 2. And Burlington, Vermont, 1. So that's about it. That's about it for today's video. Nothing really exciting going on, but I'll still be making videos probably daily. But thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good night, have a good evening. Stay tuned to US Weather Plus. Also, don't miss our post about the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. It will come out in a few days, hopefully. Anyway, have a good evening.